Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. We're here with more Stars Order 7. Our US flat save continues. And we're going to run to the end of the season, final couple of months, and do the off-season upkeep and show you the new horses as well. It's kind of the plan for today. Let's see how it all gets messed up. Very quickly, I want to start with the 2-year-olds. And like I say, still open to more feedback on them, but at the moment, I think Hague Violetta is unlikely to be good enough and have enough ability to run a Triple Crown. Magic Man, like I say, that's probably going to be the maximum I'm going to get to as a 3-year-old. So also probably won't have the quality. Hague Tycoon doesn't like dirt. Mrs. Ducks doesn't like dirt. A Spear Dancer doesn't like dirt. Which leaves us in the field with Dragon, who is my best horse. And I'm hoping that we jump to that 90% mark. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, if I'm honest. So we'll kind of see how he gets on. But so far, so good. Running green, still kind of winning or almost winning quite easily in general. So there is him. And he is he. Here, Grenade is another one that actually has a shot. I don't love these bars, but definitely has a shot. And really, it depends what this speed bar and acceleration bar do next season as well, because we could be good enough and kind of in the mix enough. So I think that's going to be key there. Same with High Life. Again, we're not going to hit the 90 mark, but we're going to be over 85, which gives us a shot. And Hague Brex as well. A long way to go to get up to and over that 85, and will not be hitting the 90. So yeah, we've kind of got, realistically, Hague Renee and Dragon as our kind of options next year, is kind of how I feel. But I do want to know how you feel about it. Right now, the yearlings as well. That we're not going to fill that out. That's the issue. We're not going to fill that out. Even if we could, 20% puts us about 75. So Ramscoop is unlucky in that they're just limited a little bit. Juniper's okay. Juniper is okay. Extra speed's okay. Got a bit of cruising burst. Low enthusiasm might be bad, but we can possibly fill that as a 2-year-old. And if we do, that gives us a good shot there. So we might have a yearling who can go. Distance is going to be Juniper's question mark. I fully believe that. And then all of these horses, one breeding with Stormy Wanted, everybody else breeding with Nod Forms again. And yeah, that's basically where we're at with it in terms of next year and the year after. This year, Hey Candy didn't quite get there, but rebounded back, got the Arlington Million, and then very unlucky, couldn't quite follow up with the Gold Cup or the Tennis Show at a mile 2. We do run against the Breeders' Cup Classic for them. Candy Star up next with the Champions Cup out in Chukyo, Japan. Off the back of a couple of nice runs after they didn't do well in the Manhattan. So, a good horse. I don't feel like a great horse, but one worth breeding from. And yeah, one that possibly could have won a Triple Crown, but just didn't run the Belmont right. Same with Hey Candy, but got blocked off as well. They were a slightly better option, to be fair. And then Star Drom probably should have been our runner, finally losing our unbeaten run. 16 out of 17, barely got beaten by a 1 mile 4 specialist in the Arc de Triomphe. And I'm kind of annoyed. We lost 140 rating, we lost our full unbeaten record. And just for the sake of running a race, which basically didn't even have a good field. These are terrible horses. And we just got beaten by a good Canadian who likes a mile 4. And that's all that kind of it comes down to. So I don't know if we get our 140 back or not, but Star Drom is just fantastic. We got the Hong Kong Cup there. So we've only got the 3 races as such. So yeah, kind of interesting because I do feel as well right now that all 3 of these should be going into the breeder's barn. 100% should be going in. I want to see if Rion won another grade 1. They might finish with 1 grade 1. Not the world ending kind of craziness that we thought might happen with them, where they'd end up with a bunch of grade 1s or 0. They kind of just settled on the 1, which is nuts. They should have like 6, but we keep beating them in a lot of races, and I kind of feel bad about it. 1 mile 2, Bolton Durland, Drover Slayer. We know those. Chili Pa, Duat Gencuddy. I don't think these are great horses, but they're good 3-year-olds. Some very good 4-year-olds. I would still probably put us as the best horse in the field. We don't know these ungraded Japanese horses, and I don't remember racing against Nuance Level before. They came right at the back of the Belmont. Came 4th in the Preakness, came 5th in the Derby. So yeah, I shouldn't really fear them at all either. So we'll kind of see. Not been the best of seasons, definitely not been the worst, where, 8 of 14, so we're barely over 50% career, and we're just under 50 on the season. 5 million and change for a horse that could have, maybe should have won a Triple Crown. So, yeah. We know we also like a mile 3, right? So in this case, I am going to do it, Phil. I'm going to do it. Don't go clear. Don't trail. Challenge earlier. We're going to send Hey Candy out and just see, can he get up and get going? Can he not get caught in behind horses? Can he not get pinned up against the rail? Can he not get blocked off? We'll see. We do have a kind of inside draw, so this isn't promising in that way. Not a bad start. We're going to drift towards this chasing pack, but we're going to be on the outside of horses, which is good, as long as we don't fall into the rail and then get blocked off. We kind of got to keep horses in between us and the rail to feel comfortable. We're a little over 6 furlongs to go then. Back journey at the front then. Newlands Lowell against the rail and the Black Silks. Dover Slayer, very good horse. We're alongside Kara Singh. We've got a bunch of horses around there with us. We're coming around the outside on the turn. There goes Newlands Lowell. Bolton Delond pulled up or fallen. One or the other. I think it's a fall-in. Inside the final furlong now, though. Hey Candy. Wow. Hey Candy coming in strong. Dover Slayer, we know, is a strong finisher. Cruzando Allegra up into 3rd with Dua Gencuddy coming in quickly there as well with vibration improved. So that should be your top 5. But once again, hand in the air, Calvin Burrell, loving life as jockey for this stable. He's gotten to ride some absolutely phenomenal horses in some big races and has been comfortable enough to stand up and wave quite a few times. I do think the best horse in the field was Bolton Delond, and they did fall. So, yeah, Dover's I quite like as well. 2.5 lengths back. And then I don't think there was anyone else really that could have fought us. So, Hey Candy goes up to a 131. That's a respectable rating at the end of the day. Will be back for their 4-year-old season. Does not have a mile 1. 100% does not have a mile 1, even if we use those same instructions. So I don't think we're on for the Pegasus World Cup, the Saudi Cup, and the Dubai World Cup. I don't feel like we're there. But that was a good run. We did want more distance, so the jockey instructions made sense there. So Pretty happy all the way around. 9 of 15, 4 of 8 for the season, and 9.3 million. Pretty solid all in all. Quite happy with them. Quite happy with them. And Candy Star got a little over 10 million. 11 out of 22 right now. So 50% right there as well. So I do want to check this breeder sale because there's a grade 2 in it. There's 15, but I want to see. I want to see. 24th. I'm just going to be lazy and book through the 24th. Skip to the next. I'm kind of tempted to run this now. This is on mile 4. The Japan Cup is Penna from. Like, Hey Candy's got nothing to protect, right? There's no 140 rating. There's no issues. I know we like a mile 3. We could have won at a mile 4 there. We didn't. And Star Drom got beaten at a mile 4 by Penna from. What if we run Hey Candy and just see if we can do this? I don't feel like that's a bad idea. I don't feel that's a bad idea. Was that our race? That might have been our race. I don't know. I saw something down here that might have been pink. I do look in the top end of all the races. If it's a big field, I sometimes do skip if they're down the bottom. It wasn't. Okay. That's good. So Penna from 132. We're a 131. They are, 11 grade 1 wins. And definitely love a mile 4. I think we're a mile 3 and we're 6 group 1 wins, which being half the age is kind of impressive. And yeah, they won it last year. So by some distance. They also like a 2-mile race as well. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know kind of how to feel about this. I feel like we've got a shot, but we probably should come in second. Similar to how I felt with Star Drom, basically. I don't think there's going to be too much difference there. 1 mile 4 Japan Cup then. Class 1, grade 1, 3-year-olds and above on turf. We are 3. Everyone else is a little bit older. Not out too badly. And no jockey instructions for this one because I don't really feel that it would help us out too much. But we are going to go against the rail. And behind horses and a chance of getting blocked off. We're being penned in by Mascari Omnia even. Wow. Some people can read. It's overrated. Kalaka China, Bolani Bang up ahead, just behind Masterful Country on the outside. Profile Pink. You can see Penna from right at the back, up to Yours Rival. And Algerian Adiles is in the mix there as well. We're not blocked off. We're going to need to find a lane and finish. Down to the final furlong. We're going to come from deep. It looks like Profile Pink is coming away with this one quite comfortably. Penna from kind of down the order in 5th. I don't know where Profits Pink came from. Didn't really expect that from them. Yeah. Possibly they just had the run of their life. But that's their first ever grade 1. Good for them, I guess. We do hold on. We run quite well. We were blocked off a little bit. I would have liked us to see if we had like a clean run, what would happen. But I think the Japan Cup, the Tennis Show, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and the Belmont Stakes were very close to all of them. And if we ran them all again, there's a good chance we win all 4 of those, which would have put us on 10 Group 1 wins. So I think that kind of stacks up to where Hey Candy is as a runner. Like I say, I'm pretty sure we'll be back as a 4-year-old and probably to run some of these same races around the mile 4, some of the mile 2s for 4-year-olds and above. I think that might work out for us. Yeah, I don't think we can get down to a mile 1. I definitely think we're a mile 2 to a mile 3, and we can get up to that a mile 4 marker. I think that's kind of fair. But not bad for Hey Candy. I've got to say, not bad. 9 of 16 then, 10.74, and just shy of 10 million, 4 wins out of 9 for the season. Let's pick the graded. 2 grade 3s, 1 grade 3, and 2 grade 3s and 1 grade 2. So, should be fairly cheap. It's a 15-year-old. It's probably well past its good age for breeding, but I have also seen people that do swear that some older horses breed quite truly and quite well, so could definitely be a little something. This one definitely the worst of the bunch, but is young, so that's going to play into the price. And this one's kind of in the middle. We got a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old. Couple of grades on this one. It's just going to put us into this price range, a little expensive. Again, we're going to go cheap to expensive, but this should be probably the best of the bunch. It's got a grade 2 10-year-old by way of Excel Bolt. Okay. Has side a fair few grade 2, so that could be from him more than anything. Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. But super cheap. And then what I would peg as the worst, but the youngest of the bunch, Just a Little Sprinter, doesn't look like it did anything realistically. Comes from 2 grade winners, including grade 1 sire. And no finish, no confidence. So many horses have that. It's unbelievable. And then the medium option. Medium age, medium grades, but the most pricey of the bunch. Got a little bit of distance to it. Lineage is nothing. Don't know anything about offspring, and is the best of the 3, but that doesn't mean it's good. Because it certainly isn't. I think that's pretty much the last auction I care about, to be fair. Unless something randomly shows up that I love in one of these auctions, I'm not really looking for much. Let's go to December. And let's get Candy Star. And I will put Hey Candy out to grass. I'm a little nervous about this one, but again, we're not protecting anything. There's nothing to lose here. So we should be okay. But Mile 1 Champions Cup. I don't know if we really like a Mile 1 or not, but I think we do. There's a couple of agitated horses, a couple of calm horses. Reum Daffodil, I think, does like a Mile 1. And then a bunch of domestics. Zoo for Doubt, I don't really know, but likes a Mile 1. And an ungraded Japanese 3-year-old who's laid back. So, yeah. Ungraded 5 who has been top 3 in 3 grade 1s. Probably likes a Mile 1 as well. Difficult, very difficult to kind of say. But out of the horses I know, it's us and Rium for sure. I would give us the slight advantage. But you never know. The 1 mile, 1 furlong Champion Cup, Class 1, Grade 1 for 3-year-olds and above on the dirt at Chukyo, Japan. We go out to the front. Not a bad start. 5 at the front, including us. Klein Scandal, Sorceress Clarity, Flossie Dale, and African Mouth. Then Rium Daffodil with Jackie Hab on its inside. You're Killing, Shane Torres, Crozanza, Allegre, Zehufa Doubt, off the screen at the moment, but a dangerous horse, and Itium Voluntary as we now come round the turn. We're in second place. We are not going to get blocked off, and we do have this home stretch to run. Queen Scandal still holding on as we come now then to the final furlong marker. We're kicking on. Rium Daffodil on the outside is kicking on. We are neck and neck and fighting. Rium Daffodil just edging ahead. Here comes Candy Star. Loves a final push inside the final half of furlong. You're Killing sneaks in between to grab second place. Candy Star first, You're Killing second. Rium Daffodil falls back into third. And a very solid run from Candy Star indeed. I'm still not very used to the fact that we get up ahead and then we seem to get pushed past, kind of like at the final furlong marker, and that's usually game over. But Candy Star has a kick inside half a furlong. So we kind of go between 1.5 and 1 to go basically get up in the lead. Then we'll get overtaken, and that final half a furlong, we really kick for the line. It's something I would expect from battling qualities and cruising burst and finish application. We don't have battling qualities. We don't have huge cruising burst. We do have the finish application. So it's kind of an interesting mix. But we look like we have capped out then at 96 ability. That is kind of fun. We look like a good horse. We run like a good horse. We don't improve from the 135. But it's a nice run. Everything good. And we do get ourselves that win. I really don't think there's anything else I want to run. The Candy Star. The Hong Kong Cup. They're at mile 2. There's a part of me that wants to switch the Hong Kong Cup to Candy Star and the 1 mile 4 Hong Kong Viz to Star Drom. But I know that that might not work out very well. That might not work out very well. Rimakinen, I don't know if we got anyone to really go for that either. If anyone, that would be Hey Candy. On the back of that Japan Cup. That might be them. Yeah, Candy Star. Towards the end of the year, just really nothing. Apart from the Hong Kong Viz. And again, we got nothing to lose. I feel that we might as well just run them. So Candy Star. Again, us versus Penna From. Kind of how it feels. Don't know the field. Could be some Surprises, but the Hong Kong Vase, Class 1, Grade 1, over a mile 4 at Sha Tin Racecourse, Hong Kong. Class 1, Grade 1, and we're going to go out early. Not a bad start from us. Pen from right at the back. We got Weber's Boom, back to Dorback Impelier, Muscari Omnia, Yorkster's Dairy, who we do know is a solid horse as well. And then Ralco Parchment, Dangerous Hayden, Tosca Appetit, Quartz Feather, and Sandbanks Instinct at the back with Pena from. So, half a mile to go round this left-hand turn. Grandstand in view. Starting to get ready here as we push towards the line. Down to the final furlong. Penafrom coming from deep at speed. Candy Star will have some kick on, but I'm not sure it's enough. Yorkshire's Dairy is going to be on the fight. Dangerous Hayden coming through with a lot of pace here. And then Muscari Omnia is right there with us as well. Just about on the line for 4th place. Just about held on. Yeah, too far. Understandable. Didn't really feel that we could do too much, but Penafrom does come through and get that. No harm, no foul. We shoot our shot. We got nothing left to protect, and the same here. Hong Kong Cup. Yeah, Delorme, Chocolate Waters, Moonlight Surprises, and a bunch of unknowns. We should be the favourite. We should win. And again, back at Sha Tin for the Hong Kong Cup Mile 2. Not a great start from us, but we will shoot towards the front and go against the rail a little bit. At the back, Sinostra, Bolton Delonda, England Pastures, and Moonlight Surprises. Up to Chocolate Waters, running on their own behind Maybe Janie and Cashew Pass. And Surfer Neko just heads us out as we're up against the rail, starting to move into first, and then Surfer Neko takes it back. Maybe Janie on the outside, gaining steadily. 3 furlongs left to run. We step out from the rail. We set up to go. Moonlight Surprises from deep. Dangerous horse. But have they gone too far? Have they gone too soon? Who knows? Delonde is in there with Moonlight Surprises. Star Drom, though, kicking on, maintaining their lead. The final furlong. Who's got the push? Who's got the heart? Half a furlong to go. Moonlight Surprises catching ever infinitesimally amounts on us. We just about keep it at a length. Bolton DeLon, solid run up into 3rd place. Oh, excuse me. A solid run. And Star Drom, if we avoid the Arc de Triomphe, or if we don't lose by a head and instead we win by a head, we would be 140 rated and we would be perfect. Instead, we're going to stay at 137. We're going to stay 17 of 18. But we do get a 12 Group 1 wins, 3 Group 2s. A phenomenal season, a phenomenal career for a phenomenal horse that will be bred from next season. Star Drom completely will be in that breeding barn. So will Candy Star. But next season, it's Star Drom being bred from, and then Candy Star probably the year after. So I'm going to retire them both to stud, but I'm not, actually. I'm not. Because I want to see at the end of the season, I want to see Candy Star. No, they won't get an award because Star Drom will get everything they're in for. I was hoping to see them both on the end of season lists. They won't be. But Hey Candy might be. Star Drom probably will. 30 million in prize money. For someone that didn't run the Triple Crown, 30 million. And most of this money came from the Triple Crown that Candy Star actually had. If you look at how much that is, well, So 900,000, 1.8, and 1.8, so that's 3.6 million. Yeah, 3.6, and if we'd have just got up in this, that's another 3 million, so that's, what, 6.6? It's quite a lot. Quite a lot, 36.8 almost. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. But, yeah, 3 great horses at the end of the day. Like, that's just the way it is. 3 great horses. And I don't really have complaints about any of them. Hey Candy and Candy Star took 2 out of 3 races for the Triple Crown. Both were semi-unlucky, and they both didn't really run their best in the Belmonts. And Star Drom didn't get that chance, but won all the big races that they had as a 4-year-old. And just didn't let me down until I took a risk that I pretty much knew wasn't going to pay off. So I just don't have complaints, and I'm happy to breed from all of them. But it will be Star Drum next year, Candy Star the year after, and Hey Candy the year after that. I think that's kind of all there is to it. We've already got our breeding all set out. And then the final race of the year, mile 4, Arima Kinen out in Nakayama. Not one we usually run. Not one I'm super confident on. But why not? I think at the end of the day, Gimme Cross is back. Prophet's Pink we just saw win is back. Your rival Baloney Bang. Shane Taurus, not really worried too much about those. Yorksters Dairy I do like, as I just mentioned. They just had a good run. And then we've got 3 ungraded. Yeah, I think the top 4 in betting is about right. I'm not sure that's the order I would have them in, but I can understand why. I think Pink's got to be favorite. If they have a run like they have, Gimme Cross can run this distance, but probably wants more. And then Yorkshire's Dairy, I don't think it's an amazing horse, but does love this distance. So maybe one a little too far, one a little too short, 2 bang on the money, but probably are the weakest of the 4s. The best horses here, I would say, is us and Gimme Cross for sure. I'd probably have Gimme Cross, Yorkshire's Dairy, us, and then Prophet's Pink. So we're almost in the right order in the top 4. But Nakayama, mile 4, 110 yard, Arima. I said it right. I don't know why I stopped. I thought I said it wrong again. I'm so used to pronouncing things wrongly that I kind of caught myself when I didn't need to. The Arima Kinen, Class 1, Grade 1 for 3-year-olds upon the turf here in Japan. And we're out okay. Not a bad start here on the near side from Hey Candy. Going to settle in to a stalking position on the outside of Yorkshire's Dairy. Cheyenne Taurus, Mary Ikonu is in the mix there with Prophet's Pink and Byronic Conti. Back to Gimme Crossed. Could find a difficult field to run through, and your rival just on the outside of them. Masterful Country now just dropping back in second place, trying to maintain contact with Baloney Bang, who is there out in the lead. On the back stretch here, ready for the turn. Hey Candy, starting to move a little bit, has a good lane to run. Prophet's Pink has come into a good position here, running a really wide bend, but could go. We're down now to the final 1.5 furlongs. 6 in picture, 6 running for this. Masterful Country, Cheyenne Taurus, not really doing too much yet. Prophet's Pink not coming up. A 3-way dance. Yorkshire's Dairy and Hey Candy side by side. Hey Candy just pushing out, just getting clear, getting up on it. I think Baloney Bang may have fallen down there to 4th. Gimme Cross never came into it. But Hey Candy with a nice run, solid, pushed out, got clear. Baloney Bang just holds on by a short head. keeps that third place. But here, Candy, fantastic race from them. Gets up, does what's needed to be done. And I'm kind of happy with that. I think that's a very, very good run. Yorkshire's Dairy didn't run well at the Kentucky Derby, but did run well at the Belmont. It's a very solid horse, to be fair. And just in case I haven't watched all these, I know I've done Bolton. But yeah, Dovers and Yorksters, I want to keep an eye on. Ryum, we're also keeping an eye on. They all beat Candy Star, even though they probably shouldn't have. But yeah, that's kind of like a little match race for me. We didn't quite get where we wanted in the Belmont, and they did better than us. And so the fact that then we beat them at a little bit more distance, I feel pretty good about it. I can't lie. I do feel pretty good about that. So 131, 134, 137. Pretty good ending records. Combined prize fund of like 52 million, maybe. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. 10 of 17, 17 of 18, 12 of 24. Pretty solid records all around. I do have to wonder as well. Oh no, we got the 103 glitch. That should clear next season. That should clear for next season. I hope it does, because I kind of want to get rid of Voronova Tycoon. And I believe it's 5e. No, it's not 5e. Seeker Violetta. No. Did I already get rid of them? I might have already got rid of them. Okay. Well, whatever. This little glitch is there. So we've got a yearling early. Boundless Orphan. Doesn't look like too much there, but yeah, very solid. Very solid, kind of like their makeup. Have to see how their 2-year-old season goes. There's a chance we hit most of that, but we're not going to fill it all out. So 3-year-old, that still will be our cap, pretty much. Yeah, that's the problem with big distances in your potential to fill. So, not entirely sure. Oh, both sides are grade 1 winners. You can't even win a conditions race, but just want to see. Yeah, almost hits my requirements, almost. Yeah, as a 5-year-old, the only thing I'm thinking of now, it's such a small gap here. Is there a chance that we can fill that potential in this last week? And if so, can I export it with full potential maxed out here and take it in to the jump save, because it's got some decent jump bars, and that will be a 5-year-old with 70 realized ability. And so then it'll have a season to run as a 5-year-old jumper, probably do okay, and move into the 6-year-old season to really start pushing towards those feature races. And it might actually have some really good potential there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's a bit of a weird pickup for me, but it kind of makes sense to a small degree to move it across to a jumps race. So anywhere mile 1 I feel could work. There's a native dancer. I don't mind that, but I think that's going to be kind of a tough one. I can try a mile or a mile two, but I don't feel that will really work. So we faded, weakened, outpaced, faded. Maybe a mile. Maybe a mile. Maybe this mile. This could be done, but maybe a mile with jockey instructions. And it doesn't need to win, it just needs to get close. Don't trail, challenge earlier, because we are coming down in distance. 1 mile 1, maybe a touch too far. We shouldn't win, but it's a small field. We've got a little bit of a weight advantage against the grade 3 winner. We're not a bad horse. And those instructions, plus coming down in distance, could actually put us near the money in terms of distance. So I don't mind that at all. I've got no clue where we are. This is a little grade 3 mile 1. 4 horses run. And we will go out towards the front with Showpiece against the rail. Out to Grants and Outsides and Sunday Zero on the outside. So we'll kind of see how we do. But I think we're borderline mile 1 horse that doesn't seem to have the pace to compete in mile 1s. So we've come down to a mile and we've got the jockey instructions to go. Showpiece is going to go for this. We're inside the final furlong. Do we have any kick? Do we have any push? I kind of want to stay in second if possible, which we do get. Okay. Say we didn't need to win. We just needed to kind of have a solid run. I feel that really was the solid run. Yeah, okay. So it's definitely a mile 1. It's kind of what I thought, but it's going to struggle to hit good grade 1s at a mile 1. We didn't max out our potential. Little claiming race. I don't love that one. Again, I think this one might work. And again, we're just going to do the same jockey instructions. Might as well have a chance at doing it. We've got time. So jockey orders. Don't trail. Challenge earlier. What's this? 6? Yeah, 6 horses in the field. With a top-rated, mid-weighted, little laid back. Grade 3's carrying a bunch of extra weight. 1 mile, 110-yard Prairie Bayou. Class 2 conditions race for 3-year-olds and above upon the dirt. And possibly something similar here. We might not win, but we get close. But I'm hoping that we might have a shot at this. So Modigliani Speed out in front with Laudatory Mambo, Expense Amazing, Saranac Mouth and Side Ladies at the rear of the field. We're going to take over half a mile from home. Rounding this turn against the rail. Here comes the entire field. A 1.5 from home. I have said to go early. The horse isn't going early. It isn't going late. It's almost going backwards. So yeah, didn't love that either. Didn't love that either. So, little experiment. Didn't really go well. but it is just going out to the transfer list, and we'll pick that up in the other sale at some point. But it does take us all the way to the end of the year one final sale. Absolutely nothing to really care about. Irad Ortiz Jr. had 699 runners this year. That's nuts. Almost 700 rides in a year, 2 a day. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. With all our horses, we only ran 87 times. But, okay. Sure. And there we go. That's kind of what I wanted to see. I was hoping that maybe like top flat sprint there would be Hague. Not Hague Candy, sorry. Candy Star. Or maybe a top flat stayer for some reason. But I knew it was unlikely to be. Boozy Manny Penny, we did come up against. Emirates Tweed, we didn't. Yeah, they won a couple of decent races and then second in a bunch, including the Everest. So you can kind of see what they're about. But Kumtudu is there. It's got the breeding. It's already running at just over a mile. It's got 2 grade 1s. It's a nice looking horse. I've got more than a feeling that's going to be Derby and Preakness runner. I'd be very surprised if not. Hey Candy is the top 3-year-old. Love that. Top flat horse and the top flat 4-year-old is Star Drom. That's what we like to see. That's why we kept him at the barn, so we could just see him show up. And Candy Star just in case. Yeah, I don't know why I'm looking there. And that's interesting. That's interesting. That gives me options. Aran, Spinnaker, Yorksters, Dairy, Bolton, Dillond, and Penna From all at stud. What I think I'm going to do is run through 4 seasons very quickly back to back. Just without saving. I'll save here January 1st, and then I'm going to breed all my horses to Aaron, all my horses to Yorksters the next time round. 3rd time around to Bolton, 4th time to Pena From. Stack them all up on a transfer list, and yeah, we'll be good to go then. We will be good to go then. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, Orphan, I don't know about. Juniper has a shot. Ramscoop, probably too much potential. Cool. Candy Star, Star Drom, go into the breeding barn. Everybody is in order. Do not mind that at all. And Vulnerable Tycoon is going to be in this weird bug with 103 breeding status. So at some point in the season, that might clear. It might take a year or two. I've had that happen a couple of times. We can breed from her, but I don't want to breed from her. I might breed from her later on in the season where she won't fall early, which kind of causes this bug. So that might be something to do there. So current top group winner is Towery Audience, who didn't breed well. We've bred from Vanguard. We've bred from Lord Forms. We've bred from Eve's Era. We've bred from Island Melody. We've bred from Scribano, Caro Green Crown, Greenock, Kikos. So yeah, we're starting to get down to some of those newer horses. Ratings-wise, we've bred from Safari Team, Seeking the Gold. And money-wise, Cubism, Star Drom, Gallon. Yeah, I do think it's all those younger horses. And a chance for some of these foreign ones. So, I definitely think there's some options in here. Yeah, I think the average earning index is kind of just the way to go. Thing is, we've got a 13-year-old that only won 2 grade 3s. Doesn't have any breeding lineage themselves. And they've got a solid grade 2 winner. Kind of got to give them a little bit of credit there. 3 grade 2 wins. Okay. Couple of grade 3 winners. Only had 1 each. And then all the money went into Yorkster's Dairy. The thing here is, I think all the breeding came from Sarah Manamu. Because you can see 3 different grade 2s, a grade 3, and another grade 1. Oh. American Oaks, the Louisiana Derby. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, this might be more the reason. So you've got to be careful with the average earning index. That's what the AEI stands for, in case you didn't know. And that's just the average earnings of each of the horses. So higher number, the better. Up next on that list then is El Mansour, and you look at it and you try and figure out why, and you're like, oh, this kid's bred with everybody. And like, there's a bunch of British grade 1 winners. And then you got Flaunting and Repeater, who are American grade 1 winners. We've got Mayorat, who's a grade 1 winning Canadian. So, yeah, a very solid horse indeed. Very solid horse indeed. So that one would be okay to breed from. It's a little old now. Eve's Era, who has been the best sire on our game, is very high up in the average earnings index. So there's definitely things to look for here. Like I say, the overall record. It's like Nod Forms has 14 wins out of 16 races and a high career record. Similar to Star Drom in that way, 10 Group 1 wins as well, so it's high up on the group list. Also fairly high up on the rating list, so you can kind of pick horses in a number of ways here, or just by who's the highest fee. And you'll see kind of who the game thinks are good studs, and most of these will be, there'll be 1 or 2 that will disappoint you, like Tauri Audience. That was my major disappointment. I think I bred 6 horses against him, and not a single one of them made my criteria. So there is that to worry about and to kind of take into account. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. But yeah, if you're looking here, Moss Vale, Abshazane, justbookie.com. One thing I would say is worry about the ages here, because that could be more of an issue as well. But yeah, you can sort by winners. Just got to ignore everything here and try and find a good percentage of high races. So like Postman, 22 of 27. That's kind of impressive. You look at his falls and a grade 2, 3 grade 1s. Probably not the best to breed from, but they are winning a ton. And when you hit everything and you're backed up everywhere, again, Eve's Era comes out 21 of 28. And so that's pretty good. Yeah, low earning index here, but 19 of 24 is quite good. You can look at the stakes winners as well. It's 42% from 15 here for Boreal. Not high earning index, but 23 of 35 winners. And you can see that's the amazing Chew. So, just solid ways of looking at different horses. Okay, I had to step away for a minute. I'm back. Oh, a lot to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to run some seasons with those horses and maybe one or two here. Especially the foreign horses as well. Like I say, it's What a Steal. Could be interesting. Premier Choice Manager Fury. And then Aaron Spinnaker. I don't know, honestly, about any others. I don't know. But, yeah, a bunch of the 5-year-olds that just come into the barn. Should be kind of interesting. And then we've got Candy Star, Star Drom as well. So, I think I'll breed with one of those off camera as well. And I'll just repeat the season. No racing, just skipping through the year, not saving. Getting everybody onto a transfer list full of 1-year-olds. And then we'll just revert the save back to the start of the season and move on to the next name on the list. I think we've got 6 or 7 of those, so that'll take me a good little hour or two. So I'll do that off camera. But then we at least know we will have, Star Drom, Candy Star, Aaron Spinnaker, Yorksters Dairy, Bolton Delande, and Penner from. So at least those 6, maybe one or two others. But that will be off camera. And since we can't get rid of Voronova Tycoon, and I think she is the only one that has quirks right now. Yeah. I don't know about these 3. Should I bring these 3-year-olds back out? I think I should, right? So I've got High Life to come back out. Probably going to stay at a mile. And Hager Renee's probably a mile, but with room to grow a little. She at least should have a shot this year at maybe running the Derby. They both should at least have a shot running the Preakness. So just in terms of quirks, the only horse we do have left is Voronova Tycoon, which is a shame. 100% is a shame because of the potential and whatnot. But once she is done, I think once the breeding clears, I'm going to put her into the transfer list as well to take into the British save for the jump save. So she would join Ranjo League in the other save. I think that's just the best way of doing it, if I'm honest. And that means we're just moving 3 of these around. Beautiful. Okay, so we got a bunch of 3-year-olds now. Like I say, I'm not convinced on some of them just because of sadly, their quirks. But we still have a couple of good ones. We do have Hey Candy to book out, and then we've got these 3 2-year-olds, which don't look too bad. And a couple of these that we breed early will also fall early and join will join the yearlings for next year. But Bergmere Sweet and Nod forms again. Doesn't look too bad. Looks like it might be more of a sprinter. Yeah, doesn't look bad. Doesn't look great. We're going to get rid of them. Nando's Folly. Love the speed, acceleration, and start bars. I think that's really cool. Laid back over a mile. Isn't bad, but also just isn't good. Could be something for a breeding save for sure. Could be something for a jump save, but I think we've got better for those cases, so I'm not really interested. This is more what I'm looking for. Demolition damage will probably, as a 2-year-old, only get up to 70 potential, though, which means 3-year-old, they'd be maxed out at 75 because they won't jump unless they filled out their potential from the previous season, usually. There's always a rare case here or there, but 99% of the time, that's how it works. But good cruising burst, a lot of extra speed, no real worries in their bars as such. If they were, you know, if this potential was down to 70 or their ability was 55 to 60, then I'd be confident of clearing it all in a season as a 2-year-old and getting another jump as a 3-year-old. But as it is, I think we'll fall short and then only have the remainder to do as a 3-year-old unless we're supremely lucky. Also, distance. But I do feel that's a solid horse. I really do. Caesarea Romanza just doesn't look fantastic. Daring Gummy. Again, I'm loving these bars. I think all the breeding indicators are going to be down to like a mile to a mile 1, but they'll actually probably run a little bit longer than that. Again, not bad, but that's 25% jump where 20's kind of your max, so we're in kind of a bad place. Plus, these bars don't look amazing, doesn't have full finish. I'm just going to say no because I'm expecting better, and here is better. Ladina Bops just is better. Doesn't have full consistency, but we've never been worried overly much about that. Modern Eve ended up running a mile 1 to a mile 2, and Nod Forms ended up running a mile 1 to a mile 2. So the mile breeding indicator is probably not what we're going to look for, but we can definitely fill this out and get a jump for 3-year-old. A lot of extra speed, good cruising burst, full finish, no real weaknesses on the rest of the bars. Ladina Boops is a solid horse. If I can get one more, I'll feel fairly comfortable going into that season. That's going to be really tight. That's like 21%. We're likely to get 15. 20's kind of the max. We could get it all. We could come short. That's my worry. Low enthusiasm as well, but it's done tied. Not too bad. And yeah, again, we're in that exactly almost 20% to gain here. If we do, that'll be great. If not, then a little bit of an issue. Low consistency, again, doesn't worry me. And if we don't love it, or even if we do, we can also put it into a jump save as well, because we've got some jumping ability. So that's why I'm getting rid of some of the others, because I figure that even these ones would be good to take into the other save. Yeah, just not going to bother. Too much potential makeup. But we got 4, 2 of which I kind of like, 1 which could be okay, 1 which I doubt, and then there's just distances that I worry if anyone's going to get more than a mile 1, and if they do, it's doubtful to be more than a mile 2. So as far as the Triple Crown goes, we're a little short, but Kentucky Derby and the Preakness should be in our wheelhouse. So I don't mind that so much. I've got to be honest, I don't mind that so much. But yeah, that's kind of our field right now. Haig Renee should be ready to run Triple Crown. So I think viable candidate number 1 is Haig Renee. I think the potential's there. We've got decent bars everywhere else, and good speed, decent start and acceleration. We're a mile and change already. Breeding indicator says we're probably going to go higher. Human Me Renee was about a mile to a mile 1, and Brasingham and Haig was a mile 4 to a mile 6. So overall distance, I'm not too worried, and I think just looks fairly well put together. I will say that. Then High Life, another Grade 1 winner. at a mile. Storming Wanted kind of was a mile 1. Violetta was a mile. So distance is a little more of a concern here. But that being said, ignoring these bad maidens to begin with, kind of ran really well. Pretty happy with that. And their first 4 actually survived the culling, which is kind of nuts. 80% extra speed. Cruising burst isn't great. So again, you wouldn't expect more than a mile 1, mile 2 to have an impact with a cruising burst. So it kind of definitely feels we're pigeonholed into that mile 1, which isn't great for a 3-year-old. It fits really well for a 4-year-old with the big prestige races at around that distance. No real adaptability. So yeah, really it's extra speed to finish and this potential, which honestly we could max out. That's about 15. That's a realistic target to max out as a 3-year-old. Could have another full potential bar going into a 4-year-old season when the Saudi Cup and everything at a mile 1 is where the real money and prestige is for these horses. So I think that's going to be an interesting one. But again, Triple Crown, I'm not sure. Mrs. Duck, we've got the distance. We're at a mile 2, I would say. Maybe a mile 1, but probably a mile 2. The bars here don't look bad. We've definitely got the potential to run the Derby. We'll probably max that out, get to that 85 for the Derby. We should be okay-ish for the Preakness, but we don't have any other room to grow. We probably don't get distance. We don't really have great adaptability. These bars are all really nice. 55 cruising burst, 90 extra speed. These quirks are just going to kill me. So flip a coin whether or not she can do anything. But I would say half chance there. Spear Dancer, again, probably at a mile 1. We'll have the breeding to go to a mile 2. Everything else looks okay. Doesn't have a lot of room to grow potentially. Not a ton of extra speed or cruising burst. I'm probably going to rule them out, especially with the quirks on top. Very, very tempted actually just to retire this horse from game or to retire to the game pool where she might be a breeder in a jump save. That might be a better option for Mrs. Duck and Spear Dancer and some of these other horses that have these quirks. Hig Tycoon, probably a mile 2. Not amazing bars, but the more distance you get, you want more speed than acceleration, and your start is less of an issue because you've got more time to make it up, basically. So yeah, I feel pretty okay on the bars to a certain degree. We will have the distance, and again, it's just this jump, but realistically, we can get all the way up to like a 92. We're more likely to cap out at about 85, so we're not out of the realms for the Triple Crown by any means. Distance also shouldn't be an issue with Hague Tycoon. Quirks, are we just in the same boat with all 3 of these? Better taking them into the breeding, because I feel maybe we are in a jump save. Hague Violetta's got enough going on this screen here. Solid bars, mile 2. Got the distance. Again, it's do we cap out at about 85 rather than 90 plus? Do we fill this out as a 4-year-old rather than a 3-year-old? That might be the case. And then we miss the Triple Crown races, of course, but other things look good. Potential bar, even though you'd think more is better because you can't fill it, then yeah, the worst thing to have is like 20 to 25% to fill, because your theoretical maximum's around 20. And then you don't, carries over into next year and you don't get a further jump. So realistically, if this was like just below 90, that would be the worst place to have it, because realistically you'll be a couple of percentage points underneath that at your maximum. And so the next season you wouldn't jump because you didn't fill your potential and you'd only have the 2 to jump. So At least this is like 2 seasons worth of jumps. If you look at like the 15-ish range, you'd be at just under 85 here, and then that will take you up to just over the 95 there. By the end of their 4-year-old, it'll be filled, but that doesn't help us, of course, for next season. So, yeah, have your say who you think kind of is the favorite. For me, it's Dragon with good start, solid speed and acceleration, already at a mile 1, will get a little bit more. Rex was a demon at a mile 2 and a mile 4. She was good. Eve's Error is a mile 1. Like, does he get a mile 4? That's kind of the question that I'm worried on. But everything else, I think, looks pretty good. You know, we're not going to hit the 90 mark. Someone might outstrip him, but yeah, have your say on that comment section down below. Favorite 3-year-old, favorite 2-year-old, favorite yearling, and yeah, just all these 3-year-old fillies. Most of them have these quirks. They don't like the dirt, and I think that's going to really limit them in an American flat save, but it could be a non-factor and really boost a British jump save. We could really just build a breeding barn out of these 3-year-olds and a few others that we've already got ported across or that we've got ready to port across. So let me know what you think about that idea. As always, smash that like button, hit subscribe for the engagement, for the algorithm. Really does mean a lot. I appreciate the support. And I'll see you next time as we continue to go racing and we set up a brand new season as we throw hay candy at things. We test these 3-year-olds. We set up these 2-year-olds. And we go after another Triple Crown. I think it's unlikely this year. Half a shot next year. Distance, I think, is still our biggest issue there. Agree, disagree, let me know. Until then, though, thank you very much for stopping by. Please do check out the other series and playlists on the channel. Memberships are available. And until then, take care, stay safe, and all the best to you as we look forward to another fantastic year.